I could talk for hours about authentic Sicilian pastries, and don't get me wrong, I am a very happy girl right now. We could talk about the amazing maritime history here and the fisheries and the beauty of this place, but that is not why we're here today. And I never mind being here, but no, we are not strictly here for this. Welcome to Gloucester, by the way. Temperature, perfect 72 degrees. There's another Liberty Tree Memorial. A lot of towns have these. I've shown you guys. This American Liberty Elm was named after the Liberty Tree, our country's first symbol of freedom. I feel like all of these plaques say the same thing. If you guys have been watching, you will be in the know. Going back to Liberty poles, the Liberty Tree that stood in Boston, the British cut down, sadly. Now these are placed throughout in remembrance. We're sort of here for that, more along those lines. But not even here for this guy today, though I love this guy. Wait for it. We are here for these guys. Yes, the time has finally come. It is the Battle of Bunker Hill reenactment, Gloucester, Mass. I hope that I prepared, I hope that I have prepared you guys for this. I've brought you to Bunker Hill and tried to do a lot of good pre-videos. There's old Putt. We went to his house and talked about him the other day. Asa Pollard. Now, poor Asa, he was the first man killed at the Battle of Bunker Hill, and he was the one that was taken out by a cannonball. This poor guy, 39 years old, dead after being decapitated by a cannonball. And William Prescott said, "We need to quickly bury him because I do not want my men seeing this. This is obviously bad for morale. It's going to freak everybody out. Everybody's going to leave. Nobody is going to want to fight if they see this." So this man right here, huzzah to you, sir. So sorry he had to lose his life in this battle. The first one, of course, it was actually down on Breed's Hill. We call it the Battle of Bunker Hill. It was Bunker and Breed's. If you guys did not watch my last few videos leading up to this, I highly suggest you do. Oh, there's Abijah Willard. We talked about him too. Now, Abijah Willard was the spy who was brother-in-law to William Prescott and recognized him when he looked in his spyglass down from Boston and told Gage, "Oh, I know who that is." And Gage said, "Is he going to fight?" And he said, "Yes." With every drop of blood in his veins. Doesn't matter how old he is going to fight like hell. And fight like hell he did. Live free or die, man. Oh, this is so exciting, you guys. Abigail Adams, of course, and John Quincy saw the battle from near their home. Down, I should say, in Braintree. There's our William Prescott. So many of these amazing men we've talked about before. Oh, here's a real pain in the you-know-what. John Pitcairn. Of course, his reign of pain wouldn't last long because he dies here at Bunker Hill. Oh, Andrew McClary, said to be the most handsome Revolutionary War soldier from New Hampshire. One of my very early videos, I took you through the life and movements of Andrew McClary, who sadly did lose his life at Bunker Hill. Just an amazing lineup of people, you guys. It's going to be an amazing day. And I've been really looking forward to this. Of course, one of our fearless leaders, Dr. Joseph Warren, who also lost his life. She was more than willing to do. He kind of thought that's what was going to happen. Sadly, it did, and we've talked a pretty good length about him as well. It was said by the British that his life was worth 500. That's how important he was, and even the lobsters knew it. Here was the last surviving veteran of the Battle of Bunker Hill. He was only 15 when he went in. He would go on to serve at White Plains. This is Charles Bowles, just a child, just a baby, when he went to those hills that day. Amazing stuff. So we are making the journey over to the site. This is going to be really good. There's going to be thousands of reenactors, vendors, encampments, stuff for sale, full day of events. I am so excited. I feel like everything has been leading up to this. And when I think about the 250th and all of the things coming up and what's going to be ahead, I think, you know, this Saratoga is going to be amazing. Valley Forge, Yorktown towards the end, of course, is going to be like, oh, but this is a biggie. So really excited to bring you guys along with me, talk about it, and see all of the events of the day. So excited to talk to hopefully lots of reenactors and meet some folks and people that I've been wanting to meet, and kind of take in the whole vibe of the day. This is kind of like the equivalent of a historian's Super Bowl. Again, when you think about major important battles, I mean, they're all important. Many mickles make a muckle, right? I hope I've taught you guys that. But when it comes to iconic battles, this is a biggie, so pretty darn excited. And again, it is an incredibly beautiful day. And they're gonna have, see the old ship there? They are going to have the amphibious attacks, the landings, big battle later on this evening. It's gonna be an action-packed day. Just missed it. Oh, now I have hat hair. My hat completely flew off. Some controversy too over, you know, why is the reenactment happening in Gloucester, not anywhere near Charlestown? But you guys have come with me enough times when I have filmed in Charlestown and the Bunker Hill Monument to see that there is very little parking, very narrow roads, houses very close together, and just no space. And the hill itself, which makes up the monument and current day site of the battle, you know, is only just a minuscule amount of what it was anyways. And a decision was made at some point to bring it here because there's ample parking. It's still centrally located for people to get to. They have the fields, they still have the water, and they even have the hills. So I get it. Some that are still a little bitter about it. I kind of get it. Like, it's the 250th and people want it to be where it was. But we had all those other celebrations. Some I missed. Some I showed you. Took you the other night. I'm still reeling from that. You know, it's a good night when you're like still on cloud 9 from something days later. That was so touching and moving. Anyways, I think I understand the decision. From my point of view, don't you, Kay?
Yeah.
It would have been a disaster. Where would we have parked? I mean, the fact that I go down there and it was, you know, late at night when Noah and I went the other day and had to move the car. And there was still, it took a long, like 20 minutes to find a parking spot. So how would this have worked? I don't know. I get it. You absolute stunner. This town, one of our favorites. I think we are done with torrential downpours and cold temperatures. It's going to be very, very hot starting tomorrow. There's actually a heat advisory. It's going to feel like 105 for a couple days. So this being 72, 75 degrees, perfection. I hear fife and drum. That's when you know things are getting good. It always calls to me. Stage Fort Park, where this event is happening. And already tell this is going to be fantastic. Look at this. They even have the boat has landed on the beach. Van Winkle. Hey, you guys, don't be like Washington Irving's Rip Van Winkle. He fell asleep and missed the Revolutionary War. Be like us and be present in the moment. 250 years in the... There's the scene for you. Camp followers here. The ladies would have been doing this as the war went on. Not yet at Bunker Hill, but as battles start to spike off across the country, women would play a role taking care of men, sometimes following their husbands into battle, or being in charge of things like laundry and nursing, cooking, sewing and repairing. Typically this is how you would kind of go into it. We came in the back way, but this is how most people are entering here. Look at this with the water. There's lots of vendors, which is very cool. Got to see what's going on over here. Gosh, you guys, there are so many reenactors here. So good. It isn't just a lobster feast, it's the whole freaking boil. Look at this. This is awesome. If you guys are out here today reenacting, thank you so much for continuing to keep history alive. I always really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Dang, it's kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. On the hill, hope springs eternal. Look at our boys up there. Yeah, at one point we just flat out ran out of ammo. That's really what... Oh man. Knowing what they were going through at this point just was amazing. I'm getting emotional again, you guys. Much hotter. And remember, they all have wool on. Our boys up there. Easy to let out a spirited cheer when the enemy is still so far away. Okay, that totally took me off guard. That was really funny. I don't usually jump at cannon fire. I'm not like a snowflake, but that was... I leaped, you guys. So many of them. It's fun to watch now, but if you were Asa Pollard, for instance, that could have been just before the last breath you ever took. It's important to remember that. With all the festivities and the fun of being safe here watching this, it was a very real thing, and you know, I've told you guys some of the sad stories that came out of it and the impact that it had for generations. There goes more. It was very real, very impacting. There's just no word. Remember, there were really 3 battles within the battle. There were 3 main assaults that took place at the Battle of Bunker Hill. In truth, it was all done within a couple of hours. Whoop, there goes another one. And then the battle. Crazy to think of the destruction that can happen in just a matter of hours and lives taken forever. Up to get a different perspective.
See on the British left, closer to the crowd line, there's troops on the move now. Looks like they're heading into the open fields. If they can do a rushed assault straight up the middle, they can be on the Americans with their bayonets in a matter of seconds. But there's an awful lot of things in their way that might prevent that. How are they going to approach this?
Those damn bayonets.
I see 1, 2 battalions. This could be a very bad day for the militia on the hilltop. These men are professionals. An earthwork in front of them. They've got defensive positions. There goes the Grenadier Battalion. There they go. They have to get through these fences. That slows them way down. They ought to be charging forward, but they can't do it because of the obstructions. They have to go at a slower pace than they'd like. They have to stop and reform the ranks now. They can't let one part of the battalion get ahead of the other ground with all these things in the way. They've had to stop now to support them. Are they going to try a frontal assault on a fortified position? Oh, wait, there go the British light infantry way off by the shoreline. They've set off at a fast pace. Maybe this British in the middle, maybe this is just a feint. They're trying to distract the Americans in the center of the line while they send the light infantry around in a flanking attack. Is there a gap over there that the light infantry can get through? And they managed to fill it up. The light infantry thought they could go around the flank, but there's no gap there after all. Withering musket fire has hit the face of this British column. It's only 4 or 5 men wide. They can't return the same volume of fire. The light infantry are getting pushed back. Now the British Grenadiers are being from the front by the Americans, and they're getting random shots from behind from their own light infantry.
Better than 1976. A good time for the 200.
Oh, they got me.
The American fire is withering. The British are forcing slowly to the hill. And the American gunfire is intense. The British advance has failed. They're falling back. They're a lot of casualties. They're falling back.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
30 rounds of ammunition. The British have as many as 60. Stick around, everybody. There's a lot more to come. They're not done yet.
Yep. No, it is not over. As I said, there was 3 sort of battles in one here. So we'll be back in a little while to see the rest of it. Try to scope out a better place next time. Remember too that this was the first pitch battle, meaning that 2 sides made an agreement they were going to fight. They stuck to a plan. Things may have changed from then on, but they were in formation and both sides knew that it was coming. It was an organized battle. The difference between that and Lexington and Concord is that those were kind of more like, in layman's terms, ongoing skirmishes. Of course, they turned into battle, but first pitched battle of the Rev War right here. Look at those readouts and fortifications. That must be Prescott right here, because I saw him up on the fortifications earlier taunting, and the way he's stretching that arm, man, that's got to be him.
There you go. Ahí con el video. ¿Viste de aquel lado de las personas?
inside the redoubt. I have been following Sampson Historical for years, and I can tell you guys, if you need anything for reenacting, they are top-notch quality and really, really amazing people. So it's super exciting to see them here in person today in Gloucester.
For her painting.
These are absolutely gorgeous. One day, I'm gonna go full colonial. Some nice folks here that have the vendors booths. These guys are out of New Hampshire. We've got the Mother plaque. Company of Fishermen and Farmers from Dorchester, England, under the direction of Reverend John White, founded the Massachusetts Bay Colony on this site, 1623. And this thing is ginormous. Some time talking to some really nice reenactors. One from Philly, one from New York. Interesting to hear about what they do and the excitement. Really good point to be made. This is really just the beginning. Remember that we have until 1783. So many fun times ahead with you guys as we continue to follow this journey. And I'm gonna walk along the water here. Oh, the breeze is so nice. It is very hot. Sunblock has been reapplied. The hat has been adjusted. Water consumed. Enjoying a beautiful warm day in Gloucester at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Entering the encampment zone. Next up, I interview a couple of very impressive, well-spoken, mature young British soldiers. I have a serious, but not so serious question. What makes you guys want to be a redcoat? Is it the same kids that want to be Darth Vader instead of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo? Or what is it? Is it the uniforms? What is it about playing for that team that enticed you to reenact and do this?
I just wanted to really tell the story of the British soldier.
Okay.
Founding fathers, especially Benjamin Franklin, he really wanted to keep the union between Britain and the colonies. And they tried really hard to do that, but it just wasn't possible. And then we declared independence, and
Yep.
you know the story from
Yeah.
there. But I think that the story of the British soldier does deserve to be told. We viewed each other as countrymen once
That's right.
upon a time. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I portray a British soldier. Our unit does do both Continental and British, so
Okay.
we do get the best of both worlds. Also militia.
Okay.
And militia.
And what unit, what group are you with? I'm sorry, I didn't.
The 43rd Regiment of Foot.
Oh, you're the
/
43rd.
2nd.
Wonderful. Okay, cool.
But
Awesome.
yeah. So that's why we do British, tell the story
Yeah.
of the British soldier.
You're giving the complete story.
So, and there's one story that I like to tell people about. It's in Roger Lamb's memoir. It was during the Saratoga campaign. Roger Lamb and a couple of his friends go down to the river. It's during the break, kind of a break period between fighting. And the Continental soldiers are on the other side of the river. And two Irishmen get to talking right across the river. And suddenly they just both rush into the river and hug each other. And everyone's a little confused, and it turns out they were brothers from Ireland. One left to go live in America and the other stayed. One enlisted in the British Army, one enlisted in the Continental Army, and they had no idea that they were shooting to kill each other in that very battle until that very moment. So in a lot of cases, this was brother against brother
Yeah.
on the kids' fault.
Yeah. Going back to kind of the Civil War moniker
Yes.
attached to that, yeah.
So So again, this just goes back to my point that we view each other as countrymen, and we're trying to regain our rights.
Yeah. It's so interesting, too, because here, particularly at Bunker Hill, you would have had so many people that had fought in the French and Indian War, 7 Years' War, together.
Yes. That's correct.
Hence why shouting, "Remember Louisburg," was so poignant.
Yes.
You know, James Fry knew exactly what he was saying. That's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Yes, it is crazy
Yeah.
to think about. You know, a lot of people think that the men standing on Lexington Green or Lexington Common, they were just inexperienced farmers, but in reality, they were well versed in the 1764 Manual of Arms.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much on the same playing ground as the British soldiers. Neither had battle experience. Sometimes the Continental Army, or the militia, I should say, had some battle experience, and the soldier or the volunteer soldier from England had none.
Yeah.
So as far as Lexington Common goes, they were kind of on the same playing ground in a way.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
But
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for reenacting and keeping it going. And any time that, you know, we all have a part in keeping history alive. And I think all these moving parts together, and the public seems excited for the 250th stuff. So keep
And,
going. And
you know, that's what we do it for. We do it
Yeah.
so that the public can learn at least something.
yeah.
And if one person walks away, you know, appreciating what the soldiers and what the men fought and died for, it made it all.
Yeah. Really impressive amount of encampments. This is what I was hoping for. This is a large event. And where there's a battle, there's musketry. Smoothbore brown bass usually in this instance. It's a long walk from that Stage Fort Park where the battlefield is back to town. It's probably the heat.
That's from the edge of the park. I don't know about that.
Oh, bro, we were not on the edge. But I definitely need to. If I run and jump, I can make it. I'm not Tom Cruise.
You gotta jump from
I don't
the
do-
left side, though.
I don't do my own
Line up
stunts.
over these things quick.
Here comes a whole lineup of boats. It's kind of fun. Look at that. Flying the Bunker Hill flag. That looks so refreshing. I honestly want to jump in. Got some food, freshened up, and we're going to head back over to the battle. Caught up with Noah too. He's been having a blast just hanging out in town. He wants to go see the rest of what's going on, so I think we're going to head back over and enjoy some more Bunker Hill. I really realize that saying enjoy Bunker Hill is a strange thing to say. We're enjoying the atmosphere and the people in the reenactment. Put it that way. Oh yeah. Oh man. This is the third and final part of the Battle of Bunker/Breeds Hill. Can't imagine what was going through their minds. Fortunately, we're retreating. Most of the men ran out of gunpowder. Of course, you see that flag up there, which is not ours. It's a technical British victory. Again, if you guys didn't watch, and I'll put links in the description, my previous Bunker Hill videos, you're going to want to watch those to get more context to what we're looking at. What a beautiful sight. Huzzah, boys.
One load from shoulder, fire off.
Just want you guys to get some perspective here of the scope and grandeur of this. Now, and he had a really good point. This looks like a movie set. He said it looks like Outlander or Turn or something. It does. Everybody, I can really tell that so much went into the organizing and execution of this. Maybe execution's a bad word. Organizing, planning of this. High quality. He said these aren't dime store reenactors. No, they are not. No Farby weirdness here. This is top notch. This is all been. I'm kind of sad to see the Bunker Hill portion of our 250 adventure wind down. It's been quite the week, hasn't it? really, the emotional aspect of it caught me off guard. I mean, I'm always emotional about these things, especially when it comes to the Rev War, but it's really hit me. I think following the timeline has even helped me, and this is my vibe, man. This is where I dwell, but it's heavy stuff. One more look at Stage Fort Park from another angle. This is a reconstructed Civil War era fort, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. What an incredible time we've had remembering Bunker Hill, the battle, the fallen. We are still in the Siege of Boston following the timeline. We're going to continue on, and I am so excited about continuing to follow the journey with you. It's been amazing so far. I hope that you guys have learned a lot, been a little entertained, and been inspired. Like Patrick Henry, I know of no way of judging the future but by the past. Thanks so much for hanging out on this amazing Bunker Hill Day. It's been a real pleasure to bring to you the events preceding Bunker Hill leading up to this, but we are just getting started, so stick around for more adventures. Remember, I'm also on Instagram at @that_historychick, on Facebook at @thathistorychick, and right here on YouTube at @thathistorychick with more awesome videos, history around New England and beyond, Rev War and beyond that too. We'll see you soon. Bye. I can't believe the Bunker Hill events have come to an end, but guess what? This may be the 250th. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop remembering, stop talking about it, stop being inspired by the men who not only gave their lives, but served here and went on to serve in other conflicts. And as we follow the timeline, their stories will develop and grow and change, and we'll follow all of that too. We're really just getting going, you guys, so hang on to your tricorns. It's been an awesome next few years.